Of course, as soon as I press the live button, my nose itches like crazy. Okay. I hope I did this right. Is this going to show me if people are like on? I see Courtney is on. How are you today? We've got 4 viewers. Kim is here. Kim, I tried to call you because I started to panic that I didn't. Hi, Kathy. I started to panic that, oh my gosh, I don't know how to go live on Facebook. I've done it one other time for Team Jacob. But I was like, you guys. But I figured it out after some sweaty pit situation. Jen, hi. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, you guys, we are going to be talking all about social media and 3 main steps. I did do it. 3 main steps that you need to grow your following with intentionality to get like the correct type of following, right? Like a following for following's sake is useless unless you can monetize it. So we're just going to talk about basically how do you create your own beauty channel and be a resource for existing customers and then gain new customers. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. I hope that we have a really big turnout. I know that Pep Rally is new. Hi, Sarah. Pep Rally is new, but you guys, this is so exciting that we can get this free ongoing training from other people, learn from other people in the business to hone in on your own craft, which is super exciting. So great. I feel like my eyes look wonky. All right. Okay, so I am going to dig in just a little bit. Just because we only have an hour, but the meat of it will be probably as the bulk turns in. Okay, so this is 3 steps you need to grow your Instagram following. I don't know what the heck. Okay, I promise I'll stay focused and not like care about hairs. Okay, after I fix that one. Okay, so I did grow my Instagram following over 120,000 in 1 year. And I'm gonna share with you guys the exact steps on how I did that. And I know you guys are just like leaning forward, like, Katie, tell us all the secrets. It's really not a lot of things that you haven't heard before, but hopefully I'll give you the information packaged in a way that makes it a little bit more palatable and translatable to your business. Good morning, Rebecca. Okay, so who am I and why would you want to listen to me? Well, I'm not sure, but I am a makeup artist and I've been a professional makeup artist for over 20 years. I've worked in the industry with some of the best, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. I'm going to tell you those 3 steps, and then I'm going to save some time for question and answers at the end. So start taking notes and let's save those questions, and I'll try to hit them and not go over an hour, okay? So I'm also looking at notes. So I have worked on set with national brands. I have been with Samsung, Southwest Airlines, Lululemon, other brands like that doing some of their advertisements. I've done an editorial shoot with Erica Badu for the New York Times, which was really exciting. But mostly what really jazzed me in my career was starting to get personal clients that really wanted to learn more on how to do makeup themselves. And that's where Saint came in. When I found Saint, I go, oh my gosh, this is genius. This is beautiful. This is going to help my clients be their own makeup artists. And that's really what I wanted. That's really what I was looking for when I stumbled upon it. I was like, this is just going to be a great resource for me. Little did I know that I personally would fall so in love with the makeup and think, this is spectacular makeup. This isn't just easy to use. It truly is a phenomenal product. And that's how my passion for Saint grew. So I did add over 120,000 Instagram followers in 1 year, but that wasn't the beginning. There was a good 2 full years of ramp up from 0 to 2,000 in 2 years. Like it really did take, happy May 1st, Amanda. It really did, you know, take 2 years to ramp up and kind of figure out, hey, what am I doing with this? Okay, so Celeste Barber, if you guys don't follow her, she's a comedian. She's hilarious. Everybody started following her, and she has a famous quote that says, I discovered being famous on Instagram is like being rich in Monopoly. It is kind of like this own little world that really doesn't mean anything, right? Because people don't pay to see you on social media. So, when she first started, she didn't have a business. She didn't have a product. But what she realized was after writing a book and doing commercials and going on tour, she learned how to monetize that following. So just having a following for following's sake really means nothing, right? It's how do you monetize it? And my girl Amanda has done a great job with that as well. Who's on here. So if you're not following her, I would check it out if this is the kind of thing that you're interested in. But basically, Saint really does give you an opportunity to grow your own little social media empire. Okay, so why do you want a large following? Well, there's amazing potential, there's an amazing potential client funnel. Now my print has gotten smaller, excuse me. Okay, so let's look at the 30,000 view for a second, okay? I need to change this view so I can see like slides and notes because I don't know how to share a screen. You guys, technology is not my jam. Talks amongst yourselves. Let's see. Okay, that's not helpful. Well, wait, sorry. Okay, so 30,000 foot view. More reach equals more potential customers. It's really that simple. The more people that see you, that's the more people that you potentially can convert, okay? So do you understand that it doesn't necessarily guarantee it, right? But it is, the potential is there. So that's why it feels like, hey, this is beneficial to have a little bit of a following. So when the content relates to your expertise, you can, so the question is, why would you want more followers? And this has to go with Saint, but this has to go with anything that you might be affiliated with. But when the content relates to your expertise, you can raise your rates. So if you are a makeup artist or you're interested in being a makeup artist, the more followers you have, the more potential bookings you have, and that means you can raise your rates. It means that you can be booked months to years in advance. And then you also get brand partnership opportunities because you have exposure and they want your exposure. So here are the 3 steps you need to rapidly grow your Instagram following. Okay, 1, I know that people always talk about focusing on a niche, but you really want to establish your brand. So we already know that part of our niche is going to be beauty, but you want to establish your brand in a way that's a little bit more than that broad spectrum beauty, right? We want to go, what is it that you are appealing to, or who is it that you're appealing to? Okay. Really identify your customer and make it as specific as possible. Okay. So is it the stay-at-home busy mom? Is it the working mom? Is it the, are you a teacher? Do you relate to other teachers? Can you really give advice on that? Like as specific as you can be, that's fantastic. So in my advanced marketing course, I learned something very interesting. So the CEO of McDonald's would say that mass marketing is a mass mistake. So he knew that. So he would do local commercials versus like these big broad commercials because he knew that colloquially people purchased differently. Okay. So they had different reasons to go buy. People also looked different. So he appealed to the way people looked based on the demographic of that area because, representation really is important. And so if you're representing a group, you should think about what they look like. Do you look like them? And how can you fill a gap that they might be having in their beauty routine? Okay. So being palatable to everyone just makes you watered down. You are ultimately not going to be desired by everyone, but that's okay. We don't want to be mass desired, because if you can answer a very specific question for someone, they are so much more likely to dive in with you than somebody that is meeting a broad, kind of watered down, I'm for everybody, but I'm not really, too, into this area. So if you have a need, or they have a need, and you can uniquely satisfy that need, they are more likely to be connected to you, to hitch their horse up to your wagon. Or their wagon up to your horse, whatever. So, I can't see. Okay, here it is. So I always say, when you're craving sushi, you don't go to Golden Corral, okay? I don't know if you guys know what Golden Corral is, but it's a buffet, right? So if you're craving sushi, I don't want to go to a buffet. I don't want a little bit of everything. I want to go to a sushi place, okay? And that's really why this is so important, because I might have to pay more for sushi at the sushi place than I would at Golden Corral, but I know they're going to exactly have what I want. I know that they're going to be an expert in sushi, and so that's why I'm going to go there. You guys clearly know Golden Corral because you're laughing. There's a reason they're not everywhere anymore. Okay. So think of it this way. How easy is it to tune out a professor in a lecture hall with 600 other students locked in, right? You might be mildly interested, but like you're also like, they're talking to 600 people. Versus if you are one person talking to one other person and you feel like they're directly talking to you, you're less likely to tune out and you're more likely to lock yourself in. Okay? So here's a piece of advice that I want to give you. People outside this niche will still find you. Let me give you an example. When I very first started, I really doubled down on being 40. I thought 40 is that magic number where women really are starting to like lift their head and go, what else is out there for me? This isn't working anymore. And they're starting that search, right? I doubled down on 40 so much so that I had women messaging me saying, hey, I'm 38. Will this makeup still work for me? That's how I knew that I was doing my job. Because they really thought that this makeup was for 40-year-olds. And so, again, you just need to know you're not really excluding people, because other people will still be listening and it will resonate with them. But what you're doing is you are being so specific that people are taking notice. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. So establishing your brand. Instagram pre-COVID was all about the pretty pictures, but now we are in our authenticity era. Okay. People love authenticity. So I was on set with a gal from Crunchyroll, which this is a division of Sony. It is basically like their anime division. And we had created a set for her where it looked like she was in her apartment. Okay. Tunnel vision. Amanda says honed in tunnel vision. That's what you want. You want your people to go, she's talking to me. There's no way I can listen to anybody else. She's got me. So anyway, I was on set with this gal. She was going to do a YouTube video counting down the top 10 best anime videos or whatever. And we had created an entire set that looked like her living room. Really, truly, it was a very curated set, right? But she was sitting on a beanbag. We lowered the lights. We just did all this stuff to make it look like she was just sitting at home. Even more so, we did her makeup very chill. We used not a lot of like nice products. We just kind of made her look like she really was at home. And so anyway, so that goes to show you that's what people are looking for. But I was sitting with her, and this was maybe 2021. And I said to her, what is your main job with Crunchyroll? Like, you don't just do this. And she goes, no, I'm actually in research and development. I said, awesome. So what are you finding? She said, well, I'm on the TikTok team. And here's what we found. We have found that videos that are going viral on TikTok are the ones that are very homemade, meaning that even if people think that you did it yourself, but you used a camera that isn't your phone, it's immediately dismissed. People want just real videos, kind of like that America's Funniest Home Videos, VCR, you've captured it. That's what they want. And something clicked inside my head when she said this. And I said, I can do that. And prior to that moment, Instagram and social media really scared me because two things. One, everything had to be perfect, and that was not me. And two, it felt exhausting to feel like I was going to have to put out content, but edit it, make it perfect, and all these things. And as my friend Amanda says, done is better than perfect. And in that moment, I said, real, raw, authentic, I can be that. Okay? So I hope that that makes you feel so much more better. I hope that makes you feel better about showing up, because everybody can just show up as themselves. And don't think of it as a cop-out. Think of it as a strategy, okay? This is your marketing strategy. Just do less. Okay, so step 2. Part of step 2 is you want to stay, okay, let's see. You want to stay front of mind, meaning you never, ever, ever want your followers or your customers, you guys, to think, is she still selling Saint? Is she still in the beauty business? They should never wonder that. They should always know, because you are always on the front of their mind, okay? You're always on stories. You're posting every day. Just be available. It doesn't need to be amazing content. You just need to be part of their scroll. You just need to stay front of mind. And one of the ways that you can do that best is if you pick one platform to grow first, okay? And this is an easy answer. What platform does your audience hang out on, okay? If your demographic is over 45, is over 50, you guys go to Facebook. Even if you're not, if you decide, if you look at your sales and you go, hey, everybody is this demographic that's already bought from me, don't try to switch your demographic. Go ask them, hey, why did you choose me as your artist? Can you tell me? Okay. Amanda says, I have to talk myself out of buying a DSLR every 3 months. It's not real for my audience. And that's true. Like, there is something that you're like, oh, I want to have this pretty, but honestly, you have to know your audience. And because Amanda is like super huge on TikTok, that would not benefit her. Okay. Joni, I'm so glad. She says, I need this so badly. You're so welcome. I really do hope that this helps you guys. And I hope it doesn't overwhelm you. I just hope it gives you like some practical steps. Sorry, that sun is like, this is not the ideal setup right now. Look at this. This is the color match photos I get every day. Can y'all feel me? Okay. All right. So pick one platform first. So this is crucial. You can't be everywhere at once. So find one place and grow that, but save your content. And when you feel like you have the bandwidth, begin to diversify, but utilize your technology to funnel that communication. Okay. This is key. Just start in one place and then go, I feel like I grasped it, and then start to diversify. You want to create content consistently. So we already talked about that, but studies show that people see 10,000 ads a day, you guys, and that the human brain is loaded with 34 gigabytes of information daily. So what does that mean for you as a strategist? Well, it means that consistency is just as important as quality. To quote Amanda again, done is better than perfect. Okay. So, there is this episode of Married with Children that I love to talk about. I feel like this is just does anybody remember Married with Children? Yeah, Misty, being a perfectionist has lots of perks, but done is better than perfect. Okay. Yes, you can breathe. Do not be overwhelmed. Do you guys know Married with Children? Okay. It's the dad, Jay, from Modern Family. This was like his breakout show. Okay. He was a shoe salesman, and his famous thing was that he was a high school football star in this hometown. Well, his daughter Kelly, who's notorious for being this dumb blonde, gets on a trivia show. Okay. And she can win all this money. And they're like your classic middle class, poor family. So the dad is like, oh my gosh, you have to win. So he talks about, Peggy Bundy. If you guys know Peggy Bundy. Okay, that's the mom. So the dad says, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know how she is. Her brain is like a pot, okay? And you can fill it with information, but once it gets full, you have to stop. Because if you add in another piece of information, another thing can go out. She can only hold so much information, right? So Mr. Bundy, what was his name? It's like famous. Anyway, he sits her down and you just see this montage of him like giving in facts, like E equals MC squared. And then out comes this side was like Barbie's Playhouse. And then like, so he's, I am showing my age with this. So he keeps giving her information and you see like this little picture of like all this trivia going in and then all this like stupid superfluous information kind of flying out the other ear, right? And so he's filling her up. And at one point, Al Bundy. So at one point she's sitting there and she goes, bleh, and like burps this huge belch, right? And he goes, that's it. She's done. And then he goes, nobody else tell her anything. So it's like going on and she's about to go on the talk show and somebody gives her a piece of information and something goes in and like the audience knows, oh my gosh, something left her brain. Okay. So the trivia is going on. She's about to win. She has one more trivia question. And the question is, who was the 1976 high school football Hall of Famer, which was her dad. And she's sitting there like, I don't know. So that was the piece of information that left. My point of sharing this story is this is not unlike our audience. Your audience can only hold so much information. Okay. And guess what? If you're not there feeding them, hey, look at me. I still sell Saints. Saints so great. I love XYZ. Someone else or something else is feeding them information. It's not like if you're not there, they're just sitting in a box completely secluded from the outside world. Not so. People are dying to get their hands into your customer, whether it's the new foundation or it's this Instagram ad for this and that. But if they don't have this information coming in from you, it's gonna get replaced with something else. So that's my point about consistency. You want to be front of mind just so that no one else is taking your place. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I hope that that's a good picture for that. Okay. So since Reels are currently favored by Instagram, I would suggest posting a Reel 5 times per week. Feel free to ramp up to this, okay? I definitely didn't start with this. I started with 1 a week and I grew from there. But really, your goal should be at least 5 times a week, okay? So here's what I want to share with you about Reels. You are going to hear a lot of, by the way, I don't follow any Instagram coaches and I don't follow anybody that is going to kind of teach me how to do Instagram. I feel like that's noise and it gives me undue pressure on myself. I feel like most of you guys know what your audience wants. And sometimes just having people tell you what to do is allowing you to sacrifice your gut feeling for what someone else is telling you. So if you need to pull back from some of these Instagram coaches, do it because you've already got the recipe. Okay. So, Reels do not need to all be about Saint. And let me talk about that, Tori. Okay. So there's original content versus trending audio. And there is arguments whether you should do one or the other. Here's my advice. Do both. And I'll tell you why. So my degree is in public relations and marketing. And one of the things when I graduated school, which was like a million years ago, one of my first bosses was like, you always need to take a stack of business cards. If you're not giving out 50 to 100 business cards a day, you're not doing your job. And I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. And like, we would go into like a meeting and I'm like passing it out to everybody. We would be at a party and passing it out to everybody. And basically what he was saying is it's a numbers game. Somebody's going to need a PR rep eventually, and they're going to remember you and they're going to have your business card. Okay. So here's the thing. Trending audio is like taking that stack of business cards and throwing it into an auditorium of people. You are going to get way more exposure with trending audio than you're going to get with original content. But here's why you can't just do trending audio. Trending audio is your business card. Original audio is your website. Okay. So trending audio might go, hey, this girl's interesting. By the way, if you're doing trending audio, the only way people are going to come back and look at your website or your page is if it's good. Please lip sync correctly. Please take the time to make it good so that people do go back. So if you're only doing a trending audio once a week, you can invest the time into nailing the audio or making it interesting. Okay. So once you have that trending audio that the majority of people are seeing and you're driving them back to your website, which is your profile page, that's where they get to know you. They're like, oh, this girl's cute. Look, her lip sync is on. Or that's kind of mildly funny. Let me see what she's about. Or she's really pretty. Or her makeup is really good. Or. Whatever the reason that they see on your page or on that audio that makes them feel like they have mildly connected with you. And then they go back to your profile page. What is going to make them click follow? What's going to make them click follow is that original content. Then they're going to go see and they're going to go, oh, she's a beauty educator. Oh, she's got great style. Oh, she's a mom like me with 4 kids. Oh, she's a homeschool mom. Oh, she's a working mom. Oh, she's a teacher. Whatever it is, this is where you get to introduce yourself. So you've passed out that business card and now they come to you and you get about 30 seconds to introduce yourself and say why they should be your friend. That's ultimately what this is, right? They're like, oh, I like you. It's like that kid that's playing at the playground and you meet that mom and you have like 30 seconds to decide if they could be your mom friend. Okay. That's what this is. So that's why both are important. Okay. Authenticity versus perfection always wins. So you want to post in your stories daily. Okay. This is another place that we showcase who we are. This is our humanity. I cannot stress this enough. If you're not funny, don't try to be funny. Okay? If you don't know what you're talking about, don't pretend that you do. Stick to what you know. Stick to who you are. Oh, thanks, Caitlin. Be real, be relatable, and be the expert on what you are the expert on. People can smell from a mile away. Let me tell you, I love skincare. Consider myself a skincare expert. When I see women go, oh my gosh, I love this product. It's so good. It is a feel-good formula that leaves lips with a warm flush of color. It's great. It's unique. It's so unique. The lipstick, it's kind of like a balm hybrid. You guys, if that's not your jam, if you don't know about the product, don't just read the label on it. Don't talk about it. But I bet if your jam is making baby food and you could talk about making baby food, like talk about making baby food, right? If you're funny, be funny, but don't force funny. That's so uncomfortable for the person watching. Just know your audience. Be real. Yeah, Angela says, let your audience grow and learn with you. If there is a topic that you are not an expert on, be candid about that. Be the expert on what you are an expert on and just say, hey, I'm learning this together. Like, this is something new. I haven't tried it. Like, this is what I've learned. Just talk about it. It's the same way you would with your friends. Like, nobody would like sit with their friends and pretend they know what they don't know. Caitlin says, I'm actually laughing because I am not funny. I can lip sync anything. I cannot lip sync to anything. I've tried. Okay, so that's good to know, right? That means you're probably going to find trending audio that's more like music, and you can do things too. Like you can dance silly and like do whatever. But like the fact that you know that, Caitlin, like that's going to help you go much farther, because you trying to fit into that box is actually going to alienate people more so than you finding a way to get into trending audio that looks like seamless. So good. That's a great point. So stories daily just helps people connect with you. Okay. Retention. This to me is the most important aspect of being on social media. If your entire social media looks like, and there's a couple people I can think of, looks like you're constantly trying to find a new customer, what are you going to do to your existing customers? You're going to probably like alienate them, right? You're going to annoy them. They're like, okay, like all you care about is the next person. You need to be providing value for people that have already invested in you. In fact, I think that this is more important than trying to get new people. Because to me, if I go to someone's page and I look like they're taking care of their followers, I want to be in that. I want to jump in and be a new customer. So you need to have value, retention. So now that we've captured our audience, how do we keep them? One, you're going to establish your brand. Consistent content gets you awareness. And then step 2, you're staying in front of mind. And step 3, you're going to retain your audience with that value. So if you think, what are these questions? And you guys know your audience. Like, you know, first and foremost, you are a Sync customer. What are questions you had at the beginning? Don't forget, take a moment to go back to where you were when you first began. Did you have a question? Hey, can I use this with my existing foundation? 100%. Let's do a video on that. Hey, what are some new products? Can you show us the new products? Absolutely. Let me show you some new products. You need to make sure that your existing audience is being served. This is first and foremost. I think if you do this well, in my opinion, you don't need to create hey, what is this palette? Like, let me show you. This is my all-in-one palette. Have you seen this? Viral makeup? I think you don't have to do that. If you're going and you're skip to the good part. You're saying, okay, girls, I added in a third color now. Because guess what? If someone has never seen this before and you're providing some amazing information, someone's going to text you or message you or scroll through your page to be like, what the heck was that? They're going to go looking for it. And if they don't find it, 9 times out of 10, they'll message you. I do think it's important to have something pinned to your page stating what it is, so that if they find this reel, they can easily go back and say, okay, what is it? What is this product that she's using? I personally don't, and it's not hurt me, but I don't think it's a bad idea. So if your goal is always to serve your existing audience, you're not going to lose at all. And then also there's no pressure to be anything but who you are, because those people have already decided that you're worth a follow. Okay. Even they've already decided you're worth their business. Show them that appreciation by giving them value for that investment. Okay. Questions and Q&A. Question time. I know people had asked questions, but maybe I answered a little bit of it already. I kind of rushed through that. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought it was going to take a really long time, but that's pretty good that we did it in 30. Questions? Any questions you might have, even specific questions to me. I really did sit in the wrong place. I'm going to just move over because this is not ideal. Much better. Okay, how do you pick the best platform? So how you're going to pick your platform is you're going to identify your customer. Okay? So like I said, if your customer you believe is over 45, they're probably on Facebook. If your customer is a small town mama, probably on Facebook. If your customer is the working mom, chances are, she's going to be more on like TikTok, and Instagram. But you know that. So you really need to figure out, where's my demographic? For me, it was Instagram because that's where I was on. Okay. That's how I picked my platform. And then I just grew there. And now I'm slowly kind of infiltrating some of these other areas. Kim says, have you ever, well, first she said, do you ever pay to boost your content? I have, but I can't tell you that it's actually beneficial. I don't know yet, but I have done it in the past. Have I ever done an IG party? I've not. Providing value. Could you say more? Would that be tutorials and new makeup? I would say that that's tutorials. So one of the things that providing value is not is always coming up with the next new thing. Okay. I don't think that that's necessarily helpful. I think a lot of people put pressure on themselves to say, hey, what's this new trend? How can I showcase it? What's a new way to reinvent this makeup? And I don't think that that's necessarily adding value. Sometimes adding value is being just available. Are you just getting up and consistently showing up on social media? Are you making yourself available in your back office? Can your customers reach you once they've decided to invest with you? Are you talking about the things that they're asking questions about? So sometimes people won't vocalize their questions, Kathy. And so if you start getting those same questions over and over, which you will, the more that you are in this business, you're going to start to hear, what primer do I use under this makeup? What comes first? Which brush should I use? Those are kind of things that add value. Talking about that stuff regularly so that your customer that might have that question but is too shy to ask you is already getting answered. That's how you have value, or that's how you add value. Think about yourself as a customer. What are the things that you want to know about? And can you head off the question? Do you have a schedule on how you post? Okay, so Rebecca, this gives me a really good, so Amanda and I were talking about this before. We did a live on how to start a beauty channel. And there's an important distinction between optimizing social media and also being true to how you function. I hold loosely to a lot of things, but the one thing that I stay really true to is what brings me joy. I am not a type personality. So if I had to sit down and write out a schedule and then stick to a schedule and make sure that I batched a bunch of content, that would not only steal my joy, but it would be short-lived because I know that I wouldn't stay with it. So if you are a type personality and a schedule blesses you, absolutely stick to a schedule. Ultimately, it comes down to what methodology do you need in order to go the distance? Because that's the key. Most people fizzle out. My first year in Saint, if I had been numbers driven, I would have left the company. But fortunately, it wasn't about that. I loved Saint. I love having it as an option for my clients. And I just wanted to show people how to use it. I wanted to honestly just be a resource for my existing customers online so that they could find me. And it just grew into something else. But you need to find something other than money to find your joy. And then also a way to show up that's very authentic and life-giving to you. So if those two things aren't happening, I don't think it means get off social media. I think it means find your groove. I think people like the little quick tips. Yes, I agree. I think shorter can be better. I do think there's some people that really benefit from a long full-length tutorial. If you're that person, show up on YouTube. You guys, that is a huge resource. So what are some daily tasks you have in your Saint business? I want to put in the time, but I don't know what to do on the daily. Show up. Like I said, I am not regimented. So hopefully in these pep rallies to come, you'll find somebody that can give you an outline or a checklist. That's not me. I'm living my life. If I'm putting on makeup, I'm recording it. At least a portion of it. That's true. It is not, it's the same thing if you see me post a fitness video. I did not go to the gym to create that fitness video. My trainer is filming my actual moves. That's the way that you fit it into your life. That's real. That's authentic. It's not beautiful. It's not polished, but it's showing up. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for somebody that's trustworthy. Let me put it to you this way. And if this is all you take from this, you guys, this is just what I would say benefits you as a human. But I always tell my kids, be a there you are person. Don't be a here I am. Okay? Everybody knows what that means, right? When you walk into the room, there's two types of people. There's a, oh, there you are. Or a, here I am. On social media, you can be a here I am. And that means you put out the best. You only look your best. You just show up as you are, or you're a there you are. If your goal is, I have something to tell you. It doesn't matter that I look like Paducah right now. I have this great information that I have to tell you. I'm going to get on here to tell it to you. People love that. Because what you're saying is you're more important to me than like how I look. Okay? So with everything you do, if you show up as a there you are person and you're making people feel loved and special, ultimately you will be a here I am person because people are going to be looking for you because of the way that you make them feel. If you're just starting out, should you wait to do something like trending audio until you have more content on your profile? No, just get stuff out. Get stuff out. Get people to you. I grew through trending audio. People started following people aren't only like looking. So here's the thing is you can have stuff on your page, but a lot of times people will also look at your circle. Like they'll go click on, if you're on Instagram, they'll go like, what's her story say? If you don't have a ton on your profile, if you're talking on your circle and they're like, oh, she's cute. Oh, she's funny. Oh, she's whatever, charming. Oh, she reminds me of me or my best friend or whatever. So just do it. Michelle, you're so awesome. I love you so much. Okay. Okay. To add to that, how do you think of what to make reels on? I'm so rushed as a mom, so I think I need to spend the time to decide some reels to work on. Sometimes I just scroll. I think once you get your juices flowing, it'll come a lot easier to you. But there is some time investment, I think, and like I've been in a drought lately as far as like trying to think of something new and funny. And I'm not going to force it. Hopefully it'll come back to me. It's not right now, you know. Do you have guidance on what types of content you post in stories versus reels versus posts? Okay, so in stories, I'm just showing up. I show up pretty authentically. Wow. Okay. I show up pretty authentically in stories. And I share a lot of my life, but there's still a very huge part of my life that's private. And I don't think that that's like apparent because it feels like I'm always on. But there's a big part of my life that I don't show, right? Like my son doesn't want to be on. I ask for permission if my kids are on. But you can show up and just like let people in. I mean, even my best friends like don't see all of my life. But I would say that your stories are going to be your humanity. And then your posts are going to be like, I always say this when I first started off, I was like, man, I don't want this in the world in perpetuity, but I don't mind if people see it for 24 hours. Does that make sense? So if I'm like, I'm not showing, like, this is not going to be like published. I'm just going to put it in stories. But if it's something that I'm like, this is really good. And this is stuff that people ask, like, so sometimes I'm doing a story and I'm like, that's really I feel like a really good tip that just came out inadvertently, and I'll save that and then I'll create it into a post. So basically, I think that's how I decide. So Kim says, when I was looking into Saint, the quick things got me interested. The mid-length got me invested, and the longer tutorials sold me. And I think that that's huge and really, really valid. So there's a place for all of those different links. That's really great. Yeah, Rebecca says, I'm just living my life. That's exactly what it is. I'm so glad, Danielle. Yeah, be a there you are person. What are you wearing on your lips? Okay, my number one question, although between us, this lady was like, I keep asking her and she's sending me links and it's not what she uses. And I'm like, oh, yes, it is. What, you saw me put it on. Why would I lie? Okay, so it is the Jaclyn Hill today. It's the Jaclyn Hill lip liner. I don't know where it is because I moved all my stuff, but it's the Jaclyn Hill lip liner in bourbon. I also have ash around my lips with the smudge brush, and then I make a more defined line with the Jaclyn Hill and bourbon, and then I tap Ballerina Baby. So I color in on the sides, and then I tap. And you want to make sure that you tap that Ballerina all the way over the lip line. That's it. Thank you. I love it too. It's like I use Ballerina with like any lip liner. Like any favorite lip liner, if you tap Ballerina on the middle, it's like so gorgeous. You guys, I hope this was helpful. I feel a little like I was on speed. Like I need a cigarette now. That was a rush. I get on all day, all the time on social media, but somehow showing up for other artists, it's a little bit more intimidating because I respect all of you so much. I believe in community over competition. I want everybody to win. I truly, truly do. There's enough at the table for everybody. This company is so amazing. You have so much potential, and I just truly love my Saint sisters. Okay, so trying to do better about mixing it all up in social media. I'm a newbie to Saint, and it's by far the best. It is by far the best. It's okay to be a newbie. Like I said, find your joy. Find what makes you excited about showing up every day and double down on that. And when you start to get a little bit worried about numbers and following and things like that, hone it back in and remind yourself of your why. I know you guys hear that all the time, but it's easy to get intimidated by people that you think, man, they're crushing it. They are killing it. Hone back in, put on those blinders and be like, let me do me. I'm going to find my tribe. You will find your people. I mean, you see it all the time where you're like, he found a wife. There's somebody for everybody. There truly is somebody for everybody. There is an audience for everybody. There's a customer for everybody. There is somebody that's going to resonate with you that I am far too much for. Maybe it's intimidating to have a pro artist and they want somebody that they can be vulnerable with and they can say, I don't know what I'm doing. And they don't feel comfortable saying that in front of me. I always said to people when I was a product specialist, when I went in for my salespeople, I was like, don't be so intimidating. Like, you hate walking down the cosmetic aisle, all these women standing there and they're like blazers and pencil skirts. And you're like, I don't want to go up to them and say like, what's your favorite coral lip? Like, and I am a makeup artist. It's just intimidating. And so I realize that people don't always want that. They want their friend, their girlfriend to show them how. Be that girlfriend, be that mom friend, be that coworker that they feel comfortable asking. It's a lot of times you'll find people have seen this makeup and they're just waiting for someone they know to sell it to them. Kim, I love you. You're so stupid. She says the Arnold to my Danny DeVito. 20s. Okay, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you for letting me share. And if you need anything, you can always reach out to me. But I wish you guys all the success. I want Saint to take over the world. And I'm so excited I get to do it with each one of you.